guys are too kind. Thank you. Welcome to Astounded Gaming Corner. I am Dr. 420, and we need to talk. Yes, we do. We need to find out what peeps think of our videos. So, before I go on a huge rant here, I'm just going to say that we would really like it if people would comment, whether it be positive or negative. I mean, we really don't want really negative comments, but if you don't comment, we're not going to be able to figure out what would make our videos better. You know, we can't read your minds, especially if you're in another country or whatever. And maybe it's the language barrier. If it is, I apologize. Maybe I'm hard to understand. Anyway, okay. So the point is make comments, whether it be good or bad. You know, like it, dislike it, whatever. It would be nice to have somebody at least say, you know, hey, Dark Soldier 420, I didn't like this because you're boring. Okay, I'll accept that. I mean, I will try and like liven things up. I just don't want to be like so many other YouTubers that are like that. I don't want to be compared to others. I mean, I'm sure I already am if people are watching my videos and they're saying, hey, you know, he's nothing like da 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 da. Okay, anyway, so let's get to this episode's game. This episode's game is going to be this or that. So when the last video I made, I commented that we had there down here it shows on my thing it shows 0 of 80 questions. So the last time we did 40 questions in a video, it actually took us close to 40 minutes. So if we're going to do another 40 questions, it's going to take us another 40 minutes for sure as heck. Or I'm not going to go all the way through the full 80, because I'm not doing an hour and 20 minutes for a video of this or that. People would really get bored. You know, maybe I should only do like 15 questions and call it good. I don't know. Maybe I should break this up into 4 parts and only do 20 questions. You know, because that would only be about 20 minutes, and that would be about the average length for a normal video. That's not like I don't know. I don't know what to do because you know, peeps don't answer us. So, with that being said, let's dive into this game. The first question we have is this or that. So, even though this game is called this or that, practically you have to say would you rather. You know, just because it's like, or I guess I could say would you want this, no internet, or that, no mobile. So while mobile phones are fantastic, I don't think a person that's, you know, trying to get a YouTube video channel going on would be able to get anywhere with no internet. On the flip side of that, though, well, actually, no, I guess if you had the mobile, you wouldn't be able to access anything because the internet wouldn't exist, period. So you would have no online gaming, you wouldn't have no, whatever. So, I personally think that I would rather go back to having no mobile than I would not having an internet. And 67% of the people agree with me. The 33% disagree. That is crazy. There are 33% of people out there that would rather have no internet than no mobile phone. I wonder if they were thinking that, well, at least if I have my mobile phone, I can still get online, right? No, because that means that, anyway, enough rambling. So, this one is never feel pain ever again. And honestly, there are people that are like that they're born with some sort of condition that makes it so that they can't feel pain. So if they break a bone, they can walk around with a broken bone and not know that it's broken because they don't feel that pain. Yeah, or they could have a heart attack or any number of things. They could be shot and not even be like, they'd be like, Oh, well, why am I bleeding? They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't feel it. Alright, anyway. Or, never feel cold ever again. But then again, if you never felt cold ever again, what would be the reason why? Why would you never feel cold ever again? I don't know. But I honestly think that I would rather never feel cold ever again. Just because that whole pain thing, you know, if you don't feel pain, how are you going to know if you're sick? You could potentially die because you don't feel pain. And I'm on the opposite side of this. Because 74% of people would rather never feel pain again. While as 26% of people would want to never feel cold again. So I'm with the minority on this question, but I honestly think that, anyway. Alright. Hey, look, already they want us to do one of these. Handpick some friends who would love to play this game and get 5 stars, or don't let any friends take part in this fun game and only get 1 star. Oh, I feel bad. Hey look, 74% of people agree with me. Actually, I should have put bad on that one, not good. This one is a very interesting question. So, would you want to never change your underwear, or would you never want to wear the same clothes twice? First of all, I suppose if you never change your underwear, you could potentially take a shower with them and potentially clean them. Yes, it wouldn't be with laundry soap, and you could still kind of clean your you could potentially, you know, wash your parts underneath while you're washing the underwear. You know, it's not like that wouldn't, you know, be an issue. Or, I suppose, you know, it doesn't say that you have to keep them on, it just says that you never change them. I mean, obviously, if you never change them, that means that you would leave them on, but just saying, like, you could potentially pull them off, throw them in the laundry, and then just have that one pair of underwear that you always wear. Okay? The other one, never wear the same clothes twice. That would be like something that a celebrity would do, because they would have the money for it. Or somebody who's really rich. I mean, yeah, it would be great to be constantly changing your clothes, and you would never have to worry about being out of fashion, because you would always have the latest and the greatest. But I honestly think I would just go with this one. And I'm on the minority again, because, you know, 83% of people would rather never wear the same clothes twice, while as the 17% of us that are smart would never change our underwear because of the reasons I stated. Whatever, I don't really care. Alright, eat a stick of butter or snort a tablespoon of salt. Okay, so here's a funny little joke here. When I was in when I was in middle school, probably 7th grade to be more precise, and I don't know what that would equate to be overseas, but my 7th year, it's about my 7th year of school, let's say, about my 7th year of school, a buddy of mine had some, I want to say it was powdered sugar, or maybe it was anyway, basically whatever it was some sort of a powder form, or we made it into a powder form, one or the other, and we snorted that, you know, and that hurt like a son of a gun. So I couldn't imagine trying to do a tablespoon full of salt, because that would probably hurt like crud. And then of course you got to worry that you'd end up getting it in your lungs, and then that would be bad. So I think I'll stick with the eat a stick of butter, because I could probably handle that. And I'm a fat guy anyway, so, you know, what's another 45 pounds? And at least 72% of the people agree with me. 28% would like to snort a tablespoon of salt. Hey man, that sounds like fun. Let's do that. Alright, next. Always wear dirty boots or always be barefoot. Well, right off the bat, because of where I live, I would always wear dirty boots because I would not want to walk in the white powdery stuff called snow in my bare feet, because that would suck. So I'm not even going to debate this for more than a few seconds. I'm just going to go with that. And 63% of the people agree with me. And 37% of people would rather be barefoot. Now, if you lived in a place like, say, Hawaii, or anywhere that's normally 80 plus degrees, or at least 60 degrees and above all the time, yeah, you could always be barefoot. That wouldn't be a problem. But when you live in a climate that's could get below zero and have very cold snow on the ground, yeah, the whole barefoot thing, just no. Alright. Always wake up 2 hours earlier than expected, getting less sleep. Or, always wake up 2 hours later than expected. No alarm can fix this. Okay, so I'm assuming that with this, like if you were to, say, go to bed at midnight expecting that you would wake up at 8, that you would then wake up 2 hours earlier, which would be 6, or maybe 2 hours later, which would be 10. And regardless of what you change, that would not be, whatever. But that still doesn't mean that you couldn't fix it. If you knew that you were going to be waking up 2 hours later, then, especially the 2 hours later part, then you could just go to bed 2 hours earlier. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Like, let's say you have to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and so you're going to end up sleeping in till 10, so just adjust it instead of going to bed at midnight, assuming that you're going to get that, whatever, go to bed at 10. Then you would wake up at 8. Or, however, if you need to wake up at 7. Anyway, so that part's fixable. That one's whatever. I think I would rather get less sleep. That's just me. And 69% of the people agree with me. 31%, they're just want to just sleep in. Alright, be able to perform real magic, but if anyone found out, you'd die. Or be able to perform fake magic really good. So basically what you would do is you would just hide the fact that you could do real magic and just not do it in front of everybody. Or just not do it at all. Be able to perform fake magic really good, then you would be like Harry Houdini, or several other people like that their names just can't come to mind for some reason. Although this one would be potentially bad, because if you forgot what situation you were in and you inadvertently used magic for something and somebody happened to see, then you would die, I guess. So I think I'd rather perform fake magic really good. 67% of the people agree with me. Obviously, that means that 33% do not. So, I'm talking way too much because we're hitting almost 2 minutes of question. Have your flight delayed by 8 hours or lose your luggage. How is that even comparable? I don't know. A lot of people have lost their luggage. But at least if I had my flight delayed by 8 hours, I would still have my luggage and I could potentially work things around that. Whereas if I lost my luggage and there was important stuff in there, that would not be good. So I'd rather have my flight delayed by 8 hours. And 89% of the people agree with me. 11% disagree. Wear shoes that are too big, which make you trip once a day, or wear shoes that are too small. I think I would rather wear shoes that are too big, which make me trip every day, or at least once a day, than wear shoes that are too small, because that's bad for your feet. So, I'm going to go with that one. 78% of the people agree with me, 22% disagree. So, this kind of goes back to another one we had a while back, but this is wipe your butt with one single sheet of toilet paper, or wipe your butt with as much sandpaper as you need. Well, at least with this one, this one just says wipe your butt with one single sheet of toilet paper. Okay, that's fine. I can use the one single sheet of toilet paper, and then I can use baby wipes after that, because it doesn't say I can't. This one, on the other hand, if I was used to wipe your butt with sandpaper, I couldn't imagine what that would be like if you ended up having diarrhea, and you had to be in the bathroom multiple times a day, because you would already be sore from having the diarrhea, and then you would have to wipe your butt with sandpaper. Yeah, it's just not a good thing. So I think we're going to go with this one. Wipe your butt with one single sheet of toilet paper. Wow, this is a lot closer than you think it would be. 60% said they would rather wipe their butt with a single sheet of toilet paper, and 40% would rather use sandpaper. That's kind of crazy. Read a very good book or watch an average TV show. That's not even a question. Really? I would rather read a very good book, because I don't even watch TV, so it doesn't even matter to me. 65% of the people agree with me, 35%. I could say a lot of things, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Set the world record for ordering the most cheeseburgers while doing a backflip, or set the world record for eating the most M&Ms while running backward blindfolded during a Sunday afternoon. Well, honestly, I couldn't do either. So, I'm going to have to pick the one that sounds the most fun. And I think I would rather set the world record for ordering the most cheeseburgers while doing a backflip than, you know, whatever. Wow. I'm on the opposite side of that one. 37% of the people decided they would rather have cheeseburgers and backflips, while 63% of the people decided that they wanted M&Ms and running. More people like chocolate, that's probably why. Darn that chocolate. So, the weather. Always warm, but always rainy. Sounds like Florida. Always cold, but always sunny. You know, the whole always warm but always rainy thing, that would be kind of difficult if you owned a house and had to, like, take care of your yard, because then you'd have to go out and mow the lawn in the rain, because it would be raining and your lawn would be constantly growing because it would be constantly getting watered, or it might die because it's too waterlogged, or it might start a flood if it rained all the time. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be like a downpour the entire time. It can just be sprinkles. You know, that's good. And I guess it would depend on the rain. The always cold but always sunny, that would be all right, because you could potentially just put on layers upon layers upon layers of clothes. You know. And besides that, it doesn't actually say how cold. It just says cold. What's cold to one person is warm to another, and what's whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to buck the trend, and I'm going to say always cold, but always sunny. Oh. Wow. That is very interesting. I mean, it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. But at the same time, that makes sense. So, 52% agree that they would rather have it cold and sunny, while 48% said that I would rather have it warm and rainy. You know, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, I suppose you could always go outside and shower while it's warm and rainy. Then you wouldn't have to worry about using water in your house. I guess. I don't know. Be a main character in the Disney movie Frozen, or be a main character in Aladdin. I think I'd rather be a main character in Aladdin, and I want to be the genie. I'm just saying. I just think that would be cool. And 52% of the people agree with me. Must be mostly guys who take this quiz. Because Frozen, the main characters, most of the main characters in Frozen are female. Unless, of course, you're Olaf. I suppose you can be Olaf. But anyway, next. Take a guaranteed... I'm assuming that's $50. Unless that means 50,000. Alright, we'll say, take a guaranteed 50. We'll say it's 50,000. I think that's what it's supposed to be, but that's a period there instead of like a comma. So it makes you think that it's like a $50. Okay, anyway. Or take a 50-50 chance of getting $1 million. I think I'd rather take a guaranteed 50 grand than waiting my trying to get $1 million. So 56% of the people agree with me and 44% do not. Go way back in time and meet your ancestors, or go far into the future and meet your grandchildren. I think myself would be more interesting to go back in time and meet your ancestors, because with them, at least you can meet them. You know, with your grandchildren, as long as you're not way old, you're going to meet them anyway. So, what would be the point of, you know, going into the future? Because if you go, like this says, go far into the future, if you go far into the future, you could potentially meet your great-grandchildren rather than just your grandchildren. So I think I'd rather go back in time to meet my ancestors. 42% agree with me, 58% do not. Get some random amount of coins with the opportunity to get more, or get 2 stars. I said coins, I meant stars. Get 2 stars and nothing more. Well, I'm going to pick 2 stars and nothing more. And 37% agree with me, 63% do not. Whatever. It gets a little annoying to see those things, but that's okay. Pee your own pants in public, or pee on some stranger's pants in public. So I guess the point is, you would either be embarrassed, or you would be embarrassed and beat up. So that would be your 2 choices. Would you rather be embarrassed and beat up, or just be embarrassed? I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this one's probably going to be the highest. But I'm going to just pee my own pants. And 43%, 57%, yep. Only be able to walk backwards on weekends, or gamble like a lamp everywhere you go on weekdays. Well, I don't even understand the bottom one. So I would have to look it up on the internet to find out what that's even talking about. But without actually knowing what that means, I'm gonna take it to mean that it's you would walk really funnily, I think. So I guess you could do one of 2 things here. You could always just not do anything on the weekdays, so that you don't have to go out anywhere, and you could just stay in your own home and walk like this, and then go out on the weekends, which is what most people like to do. Or you could just not go out on the weekend and sit on your butt at home or whatever. Anyway, so I think I'm going to pick this one just because it's bizarre. And 31% decided they like that. 69% decided they like that. Good. Good for them. Good, good, good. So, this is going to be another long video because I keep rambling on. Unless, of course, I stopped right here at question 20. Which I suppose I could do. Unless, of course, we answered question 20 so that we started on 21 next time. Then we would have like 20 questions. So, be unable to answer any questions or be unable to ask any questions. So, I wonder how they mean that though. Does it mean that you can't ask a question with your mouth and you can still write it down? Or does it mean that you can only answer a question by writing it down? I don't know. It doesn't say. But this one would be difficult because then you wouldn't be able to find anything out. But then again, this one would be difficult because people would try and ask you questions and you wouldn't be able to answer them. And then they would get angry and want to beat your face in. But that's okay. That's a risk I would be willing to take. Unless, of course, you could tell them just a flat out, you know, I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. I am unable, or so, I don't know. Well, let's just pick that one anyway. 53% of the people agree with me, and 47% disagree. Or was that question 21? Because it now says, it shows it's 21. I don't know. I don't know if that was, because if I click this, it takes me to what I would assume is question 21. Anyway, so, with that being said, I guess I'm going to leave this video here just because I was long-winded and thought we could get, well, we could have went to 40 questions, but it would have made for a really long video, and apparently the long videos just aren't very cool. People are not watching them. Anyway, if you liked it, don't forget to kick the like button in the teeth. If you disliked it, don't forget to kick the dislike button in the teeth. And tell everybody, your mom, your dad, your cat, your uncle, your nephew, your sister, your brother, grandparents, their grandparents. Yes, I want you to go back in time, tell their grandparents about this video. Figure it out. Do it. But anyway, tell them about this weird guy, Dark Soldier 420. He does these videos on YouTube. It's Wixad's Game Corner. And I am said Dark Soldier 420 for Wixad's Game Corner. And I'm out.